Hello, everyone. Welcome to Share and Inspire Foundation. Here is a story of a gentleman who went through a lot of challenges growing up. Listen.
I grew up with a single mother and a lot of economic hardships. Our father was never home. There was a lot of insecurity in the country, and he was working with government where he would always be posted very far from home. My mother struggled financially to take me through primary level education. She got stuck, failed, and took me to where my father was working in Soroti district in eastern Uganda. A few days after I had joined my father in Soroti, war broke out between the National Resistance Army rebels and the General Tito Okello Lutwa military junta government. The government military officials one day came to our home and threw grenades and bombs on the house in which we were living because they suspected my father to be working with the rebels. We were so lucky that we survived that attack. We moved into the night in the neighboring swamp where we lived for about 3 weeks with no food, no shelter, almost no clothing because we left everything in our hut, the already demolished house in town. We lived under very hard conditions for those 3 weeks in the cold, no food, no warmers, hunger. There's a day we almost died of starvation. I remember what saved me. I felt we were dying is we killed the monkey and had the monkey per meal. We continued in that swamp and got some old woman who almost also was staying as a bush woman. So she had a small cassava plantation. She helped us and we fed on that. Not until the rebels took over Soroti town and returned back to the village. While in the village, I continued with my primary education, but again, there broke out another insurgency. There was another rebel group which was formed. It was called Force of Bote, backed by the then former Bote government minister. So there was a lot of insecurity. We used not sleep in houses. We would start home during day. In the evenings, we would go live in the bush. Overnight, we would return. But still, there were a lot of abductions and a lot of robberies from homes and people. After my primary education, I joined my father where he was working in northern Uganda in a district called Lira. I went to Komboni College. It was a single boys school. But still in the northern there was war, there was a conflict by the Lord's Resistance Army rebel group which was fighting the government of Uganda. So the LRA war had a lot of impact of my education in that the rebels would attack secondary schools to abduct boys into recruitment into their rebel ranks. So Komboni College was attacked one day. I was a little boy. I was lucky, I ran, I was not abducted. My colleagues were abducted and taken into rebel ranks. Up to date, I have never seen them. My father then changed me to another boys' school called Lang College. While at Lang College, there was a little calm, but again it degenerated when the rebels would attack the schools. One day they attacked Lango College. We were sleeping in our dormitories. It was a skyscraper. We jumped off the roof through the windows for safety. We got so hurt that I hit my chest on one of the window bars, and up to there I still have a respiratory problem. My colleagues had their skulls fractured, their limbs. A colleague of mine who I was sharing a decker with in a cubicle almost had his heart torn because he fell onto a glass. So I continued at Lango College in and out because of the war until I completed. When I completed ordinary level, I came back to Kampala for high school. I studied high school in Kampala, was lucky, joined and completed university. Started working in rural eastern Uganda, then into Kampala, then in 2013 I was posted working in northern Uganda. I had always wanted to go back to northern Uganda given the experience I had there as a way of giving back. So I worked with an NGO in northern Uganda for some time, but still I felt so traumatized because of the impact, the effects of the war that are still evident in northern Uganda. The childless children on the streets in northern Uganda, child mothers, nodding disease, a disease up to today which science has failed to establish the real cause of it, but it has really destroyed a generation of young people in northern Uganda. The war had serious effects that every time I go back to Lango College when there are old boys functions and Komboni College, we feel so traumatized, we break down because some of our colleagues who are abducted into war have never returned. We don't know what happened to their life. The reason I have shared my story is to encourage someone who would be going through similar circumstances like I did. I went through all that, but with the determination I had, the resilience, I overcame all those challenges, and today I am who I am. With all the poverty I went through, experienced war as a child, as a youth, and the effects of war and the trauma it brings, I have been able to go all through that. Finished school, got a bachelor's degree in political science and social administration, a master's degree in development studies, got a job with an international organization based in America, a contract, and worked with them for over 10 years. I'm also an author of a book published in Germany on socio-economic transformation of rural areas, the perspective of NGOs. And I aspire to become one day a university professor after studying for PhD. So no matter what you go through in life, with the resolve you have, challenges can at times just vibrate your brain to think smart and overcome them and be someone in life. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you very much for listening. Have a good day. Bye.